Hi guys, Gordon LaPlante here from gCreate. We want to do a quick video on how to upload Marlin firmware. Now, we're currently at Marlin 1.1.1, but this video will also work for pretty much any Marlin version that's 1.1.x. The first thing you want to do is go to arduino.cc. This is where you will actually download the Arduino system and software. And their latest version is 1.8.4 as of this video. We currently use 1.8.2, which also works fine. If you have an older version, it may not work, so we recommend getting at least the version we show here. So go to Software, download the Arduino IDE. You have two options, or several options. If you're using Windows, you could do the Windows installer, or sometimes just the Windows app. Alternatively, if you have Mac OS, obviously here's the link here. So we will just go ahead and download the Windows installer. If you'd like to donate, feel free. Once the download is finished, you can go ahead and open up the exe and start the installation. And you can say, yes, I agree. It's up to you if you want to install the USB drivers and associate INO files, but we just leave it all as yes. Then hit install, and just go ahead and let the install finish. Once the installation is complete, you can close the setup wizard and open up the Arduino software. If you've just opened this program for the first time, it'll usually open with a blank sketch. If you're just opening the program from a previous session, it'll usually open with their latest session open. But in this case, it's empty. And the first thing we want to do is add the U8GLIB library, graphical library. This is very easy now with the new Arduino as opposed to before. So you simply go to Sketch, Include Library, Manage Libraries. In the Library Manager, you could just simply go to Filter Your Search and type in U8GLIB. And usually near the bottom you'll see the U8 graphical library ready to be installed. We already have it installed, so if not, you'll see a button that allows you to install it. You could also click more info and select different versions to install. Now you're done, and what we like to do is close Arduino just to make sure everything's cleared out and proper. Now you want to go to our forum, which is forum.gcreate.com, and here you can download the latest firmware. So go to Downloads, and near the bottom you'll see a Firmware section, and usually the latest file should be here. Go here. What we did was to make this file free so you don't have to log in to download it. Just make sure you put in the codes here. And then download file. Once the download has finished, you can go to the folder here. Now you want to unzip this file, because if you open it up you can't actually install the firmware. So there's many ways you can do it, but in the new Windows you can just right click and say extract all, and then it'll ask you where you want to extract it, and you can say to the same folder, and then let the unzipping finish. Now you can go ahead and open up the folder with Marlin. Make sure it's not the zip file. So go in the folder, go into Marlin. This is all the base code for the firmware. Now what you want to do is you have to pull over a configuration file matching your printer. So if you have a single E3D hot end or a single J head, make sure you pull over the correct configuration. So go into Example Configurations, open up gCreate gMax, and then pick the one that matches your setup. In this case, I'll pick Single Extruder E3D. Right click and copy it. Now you want to go back to the main folder, so keep going back until you're in this folder, which already could have a configuration file, and paste it. If there's one in there, yes, you want to overwrite it. Now you're good to start the firmware installation process. So you can go ahead and open Arduino 1.8.2 and then go to File, Open, and find the main Marlin folder that you just unzipped, wherever you put that. Now, once you're in the right folder, you want to open up marlin.ino. This will open a new sketch with all the proper files for the firmware. And you can close the original window if you have one open. Now, what you'll notice are all those files that were in that folder now have tabs. If you go to the configuration.h tab, the very top should be matching the configuration that you have for your printer. So single E3D or dual J-head or dual E3D, anything. This way you know that you picked the correct configuration file. One thing worth noting, if you are upgrading your drive gear to be a different diameter, such as the new one available in our store, you may need to change the steps per millimeter or your drive gear will be off. And to change the drive gear itself, the quickest way is to pull your proper configuration file over first, and then just search for default axis steps per unit, the same way you see here, and hit find. Then you'll see it come up to different settings we have for different printers, and this one here, which says new Mosaic manufacturing drive gear, the last number 93.86, that's the new number you need if you're using that new drive gear. You can see it on our shop page. Alternatively, if you have the older drive gear, the number is 96. This number can also be changed in the firmware after it's been uploaded and saved to your printer, but if you ever do a factory reset, this number will be lost, so it's best just to do it now. Okay, now you are ready to upload the firmware to your printer. Go ahead and take the USB cable we supplied with your printer and plug it into your computer. Give it a second to recognize the printer and install the proper drivers. Once that's complete, you should be able to go to Tools, Port, and see one of these ports that shows the Arduino Mega 2560. That's your printer. So make sure to select that port. Also, make sure that you have the correct board selected under the boards. It's the Arduino Mega 2560. It's possible that this is it has the wrong board selected, but once you select it once, it'll stay there for the future times you open the Arduino. Now you can go ahead and go to Sketch, Upload, click that, and you will see your sketch compile and then upload to your printer. Once the upload is complete, you should see the words Done Uploading at the bottom of the screen. And if you're going from an older version of Marlin to the newer one, the 1.1.1, you should see the screen completely different from before. There's a different splash screen and everything. And also, this screen will display the configuration of your printer. So if it's single E3D, it should say that on the screen. If you notice that there's an issue with uploading, you can try plugging your printer into a different USB port on your computer and just trying the upload again, because typically that will solve that problem. Okay, so if all went well, you should have had the latest version of Marlin on your printer, and you can start printing with all the new features, bugs, fixes, and everything else. And we hope you enjoy.